Good morning, bunnies. I've got Morte with me here today for a match. Go ahead and say hi, Morte.
Hiya.
We're going to run some Caldari Faction here, if Scotty will let us into the match. We're waiting for deployment at the moment.
Apparently Scotty's on drugs again.
Well, no, Nullarbor said he cleaned him up today, so we'll see.
Oh, he went through rehab again. Yay!
Yeah, after he screwed with whatever they were doing on their launch server yesterday.
Yeah, well, they need to take Ivan, the RDV pilot, and send him over there with his brother, because that guy is on some drugs today. Let me tell you, Hines.
Well, no, the RDV pilots are all drones. They do that on purpose because they want us all dead. Drones are evil. But yeah, I'm going to be running my usual BPO nonsense, and Mort's looking to try to test some the new HMG changes.
I'll be running the Eon BPO, all standard gear.
Yeah, I keep getting told, I like watching your videos because you make me feel good for play. I'm like, yeah, well, my play style will never be nerfed. I die. That's my play style.
That's your play style, dying repeatedly. Well, in that case, my play style will never be nerfed either.
What, dying repeatedly?
Yeah, CCP supports that kind of play style. It feeds into the giant Isquas machine.
Well, not mine, but because all my stuff is BPO, but...
Hey, do you think they could add matchmaking to Faction Warfare? Look at the other side. Like, do you see this?
Yeah, there's only 2 squads there.
How many squads we got on our side? 0!
Well, us. We count. There's 3 of us now because we got a blue. Alright, so I'm spawning in on the ground. I'm going to head for A.
Yeah, I'm going to go into the fort and bunker down. Outside will without a doubt be tank spam.
Capture non-cannons to destroy hostile NCC.
I do like the fact that they changed the outer sockets on this one, so we've got the vertical gameplay on the spawn-in points.
Yeah, that's nice. So, have you checked out the speed nerf they applied to tanks today?
No, well, it technically isn't a speed nerf. They just kind of messed up the numbers in 1.7 release.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Classic CCP.
Well, Fox 4 accidentally added a couple too many zeros in certain places.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's great.
Objective C.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously saw the accidental 0 added in on the 10% fusion accelerator to give you 100% speed boost.
Yeah, that was the biggest one.
Objective A.
Yeah.
Targeting MCC. Warning. Objective.
So we're blaming Fox 4. We're blaming that one on Fox 4.
Well, he's the one who said he did it. And I was dead behind a corner.
Ooh, yes! Hell yeah, Hines. This shit was ridiculous.
Well, that's
I
what
wasn't
happens
even
when
aiming.
That's what happens when they focus on the guy in the BPO suit and ignore the heavy.
Well, that's what happens now.
Alright, looks like the CRU is pretty heavy at the moment.
Yeah, I'm hoping they'll close on the CRU so I can... Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh, LAV. Do not spawn anywhere near that CRU.
They got somebody seated in this place with uplinks, so...
Yeah. I'm gonna come in on the outside, down by D. When will the scouts learn that jumping doesn't actually break my, my ability to shoot them? Because their feet end up in head range. It's like...
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like you jump, and congratulations, your feet are now where your head was, and that was where I was aiming anyway. So you're now dead, still.
I've got a scrambler rifle user dueling with me here at 43 meters at Bravo, and I'm winning with an HMG on the roof.
There you go. I'm, of course, playing right into my wheelhouse of taking on like 3 or 4 guys at the same time.
You're about to get something recorded that I've never said on camera. Good work, CCP. Good work.
Well, technically on audio, not camera. Close enough,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And that uplink
Right.
was on the wrong side of the wall.
Oh, man.
I need to figure out where you are so I can put a...
So do you know why they decided to hotfix things in the middle of the month? I mean, it's very unlike CCP, but it's definitely great for morale. I'm happy they did it.
The main issue is these were technically balance changes, and that's one of the few things that they're allowed to hotfix.
Really? They're allowed to hotfix balance changes? Why don't they do it all the time then? There's always small things they could fix, just like this HMG, laser rifle, plenty of things.
Because justifying multiple changes all the time to Sony as hotfixes tends not to fly all that well.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Sony's Sony.
Yeah.
Those combat rifles are effective.
Yeah, they're real. They, what is it, like 1200 RPM on them?
Warning.
800 actually.
Null cannon targeting MCC.
But it's still pretty fast.
Yeah, it's pretty damn fast. I've been getting massacred by combat rifles.
D. Hacked. Virus upload in progress.
Oh yeah, last second. I love being able to drop the inertial dampener at the very last second.
Yeah, but you know, I wish they had never removed the ability to fire while you were falling. You know, because back in closed beta, in that downward view thing they got going on now, I really don't like that. I liked being able to, you know...
Kill people as you're falling?
Yeah! I liked being able to spray my HMG while I was falling. Haha. Yeah, revive him. Do it. Do it. Yes, lose your proto-suit again.
I am on a roll. I think that's 6 deaths now?
Objective D. Null cannon targeting MCC.
Well, your playstyle is definitely holding up.
Oh yeah.
This poor guy has been revived by a Logi 4 times in front of me now. I actually kind of feel bad. He must not want to lose that proto-suit.
But how people don't realize that reviving somebody while you're being shot just means they're going to die again.
And see, what irritates me is when you're on these roofs and you throw like a nade or something, there's like a blue shield effect on like the foot or two outside of the wall. Like, it bounces off nothing. Have you noticed that when you're on the roofs?
On occasion, yeah. It depends on the roof most of the time.
Well, this roof right here, right above the supply depot, does it like it's like the walls are not where they're supposed to be.
Well, that's okay. This map really needs a redo.
I agree.
I think Loop said it's on the map to be done after they finish Cargo Hub.
Yay! Knowledge on things to come. That's why I love playing with you, Heinz.
Well, it's nothing guaranteed. It's just mentioned stuff.
Hey, it's mentioned. That's more than you get when you're just sitting on the forums crying about all the things that suck in Dust.
That should pull him off for you for a second. Or was I too late? I was too late.
It's too late. I mean, it's like every weapon in the game does like 1200 damage in a few seconds. It's so quick now.
Hey, I've got 300 shield and armor combined.
Really? Are you running mini?
No. I'm literally running militia BPO. I have no HP.
So Heinz, tell me, have you noticed that when you are, like, inertial dampening, you can actually control your movement very slightly with your left analog stick?
No, I haven't, because I don't inertial damp until the very last second.
Yeah, if no, like, I mean, before you're actually inertial dampening, you can control your movement to at least guide yourself a few feet to the left or right.
That I have noticed. I have been able to extend my jumps a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. It was pretty epic. I'm glad they did that. It's realistic.
I've been scanned. It is. And I died trying to cross the street.
Yeah, I wish they would lower, like, either buff the HP across the board or lower the damage across the board. I think they should just, like, remove that 10% buff they did and like, just do, like, a minus 20% damage across the board to all weapons. Because, I mean, didn't they do that for hit detection?
They did it just before hit detection changes, I believe.
I thought they did it to account for how shoddy hit detection was, and then they fixed hit detection, and now everybody's dying in under a second.
Yeah. I mean, that's basic. It wasn't just before. I believe it was the patch before hit detection was fixed that they changed how weapons were. But yeah, I mean, that definitely affects how long it takes to die. Ooh, he got me while I was falling. Good shot. But yeah, I mean, it's...
Objective C.
Part of this game, though, is you're going to die. Accept it.
Warning.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I get that you're going to die, but it's a game about immortal warriors. You're supposed to die repeatedly, but I just feel like it would be a lot more fun if TDK was lower, because, you know, those games where you get those nice long gunfights where you're going after a person and they're going after you, that's where you really have the fun.
Yeah.
And in Dust, it's like you turn and you see an enemy and you have that moment of engagement and then it's over in a flash. And it takes away some of the fun for me, I think.
In progress.
Yeah, I can see how that is. Like I said, for me, it's usually about 3 seconds.
Warning.
But I mean, I've had some pretty good gun battles with people before, and yeah, I agree. It's really fun when you can do that.
You get some good ones in there for sure.
Objective B.
I mean, I'm enjoying Dust since 1.7, don't get me wrong. I hated tanks being underpowered. It's just, I don't know. I think they should have done it a little bit slower. You know, maybe like buff the tanks and then nerf the AV if it needed nerfing, instead of doing both at once.
Yeah.
But
you know, that's another one of those balance changes they could technically do in between patches, is they could just change the AV numbers.
wow, that is ridiculous. This HMG buff was priceless. I couldn't believe it when they said that they were doing a hot fix to HMG, and it's great. Like, the HMG
I missed landing on a guy by like 3 inches. That was great.
Virus upload in progress.
Do you have a standard HMG? You should do a video of this. This is like the most awesome thing I've seen CCP do since I've been playing this game, is get on in the middle of the month and fix an issue like this.
I may have a BPO for it someplace.
I think I'm using the Eon BPO with just the standard HMG and 1 damage mod. I don't have any, I think I may have proficiency 1 in HMG, not really anything significant. And, I mean, I just inertial dampenered in front of a Logi GKO, took out his shields and 75% of his armor in under a second. If he hadn't had squad mates beside him, he'd have died.
Objective D.
I mean, I definitely think it's valid in squad formation now. It's noticeable.
I managed to get onto the roof just below the tower.
Virus upload in progress.
They got me with an EM grenade. It's like, come on. Who actually carries EM grenades, really?
maybe we'll get into a match after this one that's a little bit more balanced on both sides. It'd be nice.
Balance is a lie.
Right? I think, do you know how this matchmaking system works? Because it seems to me as soon as you enter a squad, it starts deploying you versus other squads. Whether they're full or partial, you know?
Kind of. I mean, I've reversed engineered part of it, I think, but matchmaking at all is a very complex thing. I mean, there's so many pieces of data to take into account. Because, you know, especially with, like, matches and stuff, it's like, right, you've got 2 teams, 16 people per team. If you've got, you know, and you've got to fill out both sides. So if you've got one squad of really high-level people, it screws up the balance of any matchmaking you're going to do, no matter what you do.
Yeah. It seems to me like when I enter a squad, regardless of the amount of people, you know, I'm with, it starts deploying me versus teams that are also full of squads. Like, you know, me and you deploy to this, and it's just me and you, 2 people in a squad, but it deployed us against 2 full squads of 6 people, all running proto suits. I think CCP needs to distinguish between a small squad of 2 people with a good chunk of SG and a full proto squad, you know? Yeah, I'm screwed.
Surprisingly, they didn't turn around and try to kill me.
Mission failed. MCC destroyed.
Yay, it's over.
Attachment shutdown.
You know, when we're deploying again, I'd like to try to get into one good match. And you were right, there were a lot less tanks deploying with you. Like, the first few matches I got into, I swear, I think it's because I got both Proto AV, and I wonder if you could put, you know, a little legitness to this. I have both Proto AV Proficiency 5. It seems to me, and I've said this since Uprising hit, every single time I deploy, it has a tendency to deploy me with no AV support versus tanks in a situation that calls for AV, you know? I don't know if it's because I got them both to Proto, but I noticed it started when I got my Forge to Proto.
It's entirely possible, because that's one of the easier ways to do balancing.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that the easiest way that they would set that up is there's tanks on the other side, let's toss some AV in. But it seems to me like the way it's set up right now, it's still queuing me alone versus tanks, where it should be queuing me with at least two other Proto AV users, you know?
You would think, but it all depends on how many people are queuing and all sorts of other stuff. Alright. This is actually going to be the first time I'm going to have 2 matches in the same video.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I did a double match video a while back of my Amarian Hunter Logi before they made the laser rifle irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant, you just have to change how you think about using it.
Well, here's the thing. I've been using the laser rifle since it came out in Dust, and you understand that almost all the weapons in Dust are capable of peeking out from behind cover and then burst dealing deadly DPS. You know, assault rifle, every single one of them can stop their stream of fire, cover themselves, and then come back out and continue their stream of fire. But because of the way the laser rifle works, it requires you to maintain your stream of fire, which means it removes your ability to hide for cover when you're engaging people. And without having either a range advantage on them, which you don't have now because of the rail rifle, you have to have some advantage to be able to do that, and it has no advantage to do that.
I see the laser more as a squad support weapon.
Yeah, I use it on my Logi as a support weapon because it used to be able to reach out beyond most weapons and get that final bit of damage, you know? But now with the rail rifle, if you've noticed, it's effective all the way up to CQC.
Oh, it's a nasty weapon. It and the combat rifle were basically exactly what they should have been to combat the AI.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, like, when they nerfed the laser rifle, you know, they removed the damage from it, and then they removed that 25% range skill. I feel like the damage was fine. It was the 25% range skill that broke the laser and made it OP, you know? Because it was
Just
reaching
about.
out across the maps. I don't even think they should have removed the damage. I think they should have just removed the range skill and left it the same. The 22 for the Visium.
Or at least giving you, like, heat reduction or something like that.
Yeah, something.
So you could burst for longer.
Mm-hmm. Which it doesn't. If you look at the Amar Assault, it gives you a bonus to cooldown, which is almost 100% useless to a laser rifle. Hopefully they'll hotfix laser rifle just like they hotfixed HMG.
I guarantee nothing, including that statement. Check today.
I would have never made that statement if they hadn't hotfixed HMG, but now I see that they have the potential to fix something before waiting a month. They should definitely fix this.
Yeah. Well, let's see what we're up against again. Ooh, that's not pretty nice.
The same people, but with a different second squad.
No. The entire thing is Choco Pie and United Ponage Service. That's it. That's the entire other team.
This 2-match battle video you're making is a perfect example of the matchmaking system in Dust. This is twice now we've gotten into a completely stacked team.
It's the exact same Choco Pie squad.
Uh-huh.
I'm actually surprised, though, United Ponage Service are running for Federal.
Yeah, I heard they're trying to amass forces for Caldari, since Caldari's been getting their ass kicked repeatedly. I've deployed into a few matches, and I've heard that, like, it's always redlined when you're fighting for Caldari.
Well, I was having a discussion on IRC the other night that, you know, I think we actually came up with a good idea for it, which was each faction gets a pool of clones, right? The more planets and districts you own, the less each district gets of those clones for defense.
That would be a good idea. I could definitely see that helping.
So if you have a faction that is good enough that could take all the districts, even with the clone limitation, there you go. It's balanced.
But at the same time, in the situations like the Amar's going through right now, where in the beginning of Faction Warfare, all the territories were taken, the Amar would have the option to advance. It would be easier for them to advance. Right now, they just take one planet and then defend it until they lose it.
Yep. And that's mostly because in space they're getting rolled. Mimitar space is just nuts. Their Faction Warfare crews are just so much better.
Yeah. I don't play EVE. I don't know that.
Yeah, mostly because all of the big Amarian RPers are CVA and they don't do Faction Warfare.
Damn. Well, that's shitty. Well, maybe if CCP gave them enough of a reason to do Faction Warfare, they would, right? Like, I mean, do EVE players benefit substantially from participating in this?
Oh, well, with the new orbital mechanics, yes. Very much so. In fact, they've had to ban a couple of people for abusing the system.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe the Amarians will decide to pitch in on, you know, the EVE side.
Oh, come on!
That
second grenade should have killed him. But yeah, it's... they get quite a nice LP boost from dropping orbitals.
Yeah, that guy just died at 36 meters from an HMG, and he was low on health because you were damaging, but in 1.6 that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Well, like I said, like I was screaming about, he should have died to my my grenade that went off right in front of him.
Objective C. Virus upload complete.
But yeah, it's little things that you don't really think about when you're trying to balance stuff, which is, again, why I hate the word balance.
Yeah.
Because for a very long time in EVE, especially in nullsec, you know, it's always been said, if you're in a fair fight, it's a trap.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because, I mean, especially in Eve's faction, in Eve's Warfare, if you're in a fair fight, either you didn't bring enough people, or the other side is just baiting.
Okay, I just killed a heavy with an AR with a heavy with an HMG. CCP, I'm gonna say this again. Good job. See, that's twice you've gotten that out of me. Yeah, like, a heavy with an AR should lose to a heavy with an HMG every time.
Oh, clearly.
Especially in CQC. So, I'm glad they fixed that. It's a very irritating aspect of Dust. I mean, especially when you consider the heavies have the least amount of items in Dust. They don't have anything, really. They have 1, 2 weapons.
Yeah, racial parity is coming, though. I can't wait to... I cannot wait for the Caldari Heavy. That thing looks so sick.
The only thing I'm waiting for is the Amarian heavy weapon, because we only have the Amarian suit right now, and I'm using fucking Matari scum weaponry on it, and it pisses me off. Like, I just feel like heavy will be a lot more viable when it has the the Amar heavy will be more viable when it has the weapon it was meant to use, instead of having to use Matari weapons.
That heavy laser is gonna be nasty.
Oh my god, it's gonna be so great. I can't wait. Like, I'm so excited. And I know that's gonna be the first heavy weapon they put out, because, I mean, that's the first heavy suit they put out.
Well, the big thing for that one is, it's... I'm trying to think, because we have 2 of the heavies. We have the HMG, and we have the Forge gun. Right? That's Caldari and Minmatar. I do not remember, or I do not remember what the Galente heavy weapon is. You know, I know the Amarian is a heavy laser. I just can't remember what... They've said it, but I don't remember what it is.
MCC shield damage 50%.
But yeah, I can only assume that we're going to get a new expansion in, you know, the next 3 or 4 months. An actual expansion, not a point update. And that will have the rest of the racial parity stuff in it.
I think it's kind of amusing that REs are now more effective at AV than anything else. Have you seen these new Jihad labs?
I've heard about them.
Oh yeah, you can put 36 REs on a fucking lab. And gunloggies, you can dual tank, hybrid tank gunloggies now, which I think is freaking awesome.
Yeah, I've always said that that's a bad thing.
I mean, I like it. I used to say it was a bad thing too, until I saw Madrugers in this build.
I say I don't like it simply because of the lore. It's always been in New Eden, you either get shields effectively, or you get armor effectively. Using both gets you
Oh, great.
I mean, that went badly.
Oh, very badly. There's not much you can do when you don't bring a tanking team with you right now, because AV can't deal with them, and there's almost always 1 or 2 on the other side.
Well, AV can. It's just, it's got to be coordinated. You need the forge guns to start taking out their shields, and then you need the swarms to come in to finish them off in armor. If you don't have both, there's no point.
Yeah. But, yeah, and again, that's the thing. How do you balance vehicles around a concept like that when can't guarantee, like, you can't really guarantee that there's gonna be the abilities to deal with the vehicle on the other side with matchmaking. They need to change the matchmaking system so if it's gonna be queuing people that are calling tanks versus you, it queues people that can deal with them on your side. And it doesn't do that right now, at all. It queues you into these matches where you don't stand a chance. Right now we're against 2 proto squads, and there's 3 tanks on the other side.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's not a game balance issue. That's a matchmaking issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Matchmaking with vehicles the way they are, the matchmaking is just
Right,
putting
but
you
you
into...
can't equate the two.
Yeah.
The balance for vehicles, absent everything else, I think is exactly where it should be right now. You know, vehicle on vehicle.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
It's perfect. Proper AV on vehicle is exactly where it should be, because I know some people who, you know, in coordinated squads can easily take out tanks.
Yeah, I can easily take out a tank if I have support, and that's good. And I understand you're supposed to need support to take out a tank, but at the same time, you can't. It just seems like
it's a matchmaking issue, which is, again, as I stated before, a really hard thing to get right.
Yeah, definitely.
I can hear an LAV. Where is it?
D. Null cannon targeting MCC.
Yeah, I just dropped right into a tank.
I see that.
Mm-hmm.
Warning. Objective C.
Yeah, I can't take Alpha or Delta because there's tanks watching those, and I can't take both of them on by myself. I can't take the fort because there's 12 proto-suits at the fort. So, pretty much, if I don't get queued with a team that's great and skilled and working together, then I can guarantee I'm going to get queued against a team that's doing that.
Yep.
And then I'm going to lose.
Which is...
You know what the ultimate solution is, Heinz? The ultimate solution... the ultimate solution is pretty easy. Put in team queuing. There won't be any problems with this, because 16 people will get together, they'll work together, and they'll queue to the same matches all the time. Like, it wouldn't be an issue.
That would solve part of it. Because then you have the other side. Right?
I don't think team queuing should be available for pubs, though. I think just for faction warfare. Like, if they made it just for faction warfare, right?
And then make the team queues wait for another team to queue up?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They make it a team queue, and you have 16 people, and you deploy to a match, but it makes you wait for another 16. Yeah. They said they fixed that it doesn't drop your vehicles from 20 meters in the air, but it still does. And if you're using a dropship, it'll drop your vehicle from that high, and you still lose half your health. That's why I'm not calling dropships anymore. And it's not as consistent as it used to be, though.
I'm still not used to this Praetorian layout. I just went to duck and threw a grenade.
At 50%. MCC damage.
This layout is so messed up. But it's the only one. It's the only layout that has the right trigger as how you fire your weapon.
Yeah, I can't use anything but the right trigger for using my weapon. I'd muck it all up. It would be nice if they gave us a way to set our layouts to whatever we want, you know, like most games do.
I've been harping on that as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of small things that CCP hasn't done with this game that you would think most developers would. I think it's just because this is their first-person shooter, you know?
Yeah. And that's, you know, that's another big thing that a lot of people miss when they're talking about the game. It's like, you know, why haven't they done this? Why haven't they done that? Well,
because it's their first one. Yeah. They don't know that it should, you know?
Yeah. I actually got into an argument earlier today with somebody, I believe it was Evil.
Yeah, I got 3 tanks, 1 in front of me and 2 behind me. that tank?
over
Go ahead, kill me.
balance. And it's like, you can't... There are certain things you can do, and there's certain things you can't do. And then we got in... Ooh, I got a kill assist on that. We got into, well, they shouldn't have released it on the PS3 because now it's a PS3 only game. And I'm like, no. It's a game with a PS3 client. It runs on Unreal, and it uses Crest to hook into TQ.
So it should be able to be transferred to PC, right?
Yeah. PC, Xbox One, Xbox 360, the freaking Vita has enough power to actually run this game.
Yeah, I mean, when people say that they're not going to put it on other systems, I laugh at them, because why wouldn't they? It's just not going to happen right now.
Yeah, because they want to get everything right.
Exactly, and there's no point to put it on another system until they do have everything right. It'll just have a terrible reception like it did on the PS3.
Yeah. But saying, it's a PS3 game, no.
Hey, are you near the ground spawn?
Yeah.
Look up at my RDV. You see my tank dropping down and then lagging back up to the RDV, just like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It just let go, though.
Yeah, it did. It takes a while. Ivan's on drugs again.
Sit back for a second, because we're on the last tank. There you go.
Yeah.
Alright, well, that's 2 great matches there. It's a 40-minute long video that I'm going to get to edit here in a second. But thanks for joining me for today, Mort.
Thanks for having me, and my bitchy self.
Maybe next time we can get you and G-Torque on here and just have a really fun discussion.
You know what? We should make a video where we're all just spamming militia tanks. That would be great, Heinz. Like, seriously, we should get a squad of 6 people together, and I will call tanks for every single one of us, just for the video purposes of demonstrating how like, futile it is when there's a squad of people who know what they're doing using no-skill tanks.
Yeah, but we have to record it from all 6 viewpoints.
We can. I can record it from mine, but I can't record my audio, but you can capture everybody's audio, right?
Oh, yeah.
We should try to work on that, get 4 other recorders together.
I'll have to talk to the other YouTube folks.
For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for joining me, and have a great day, everybody who watched.